Hello, Reckonate7 here, and welcome back to Combat Mission Battle for Normandy. We rejoin the Argyll and Southern Highlanders in their push for the town of Mondrainville, or village of Mondrainville, I should say. So, what's the current state on the ground? Well, you can see our three objectives here are marked Is, Retty and Marion, and we are firmly in control of Is, and we have a foothold in Retty. Our biggest kind of challenges at the minute is the combined arms nature of the German forces opposing us. So we know there is a Panzer IV, which is going to be a hard nut to crack in this orchard here, and we've also identified a reconned armoured car, Panzer II, and a half-track mounted with a machine gun. Furthermore, guarding the Germans' left flank is an AT piece, which is preventing us pushing any further with our own armoured forces, which are mainly light armoured cars. However, we have a few tricks up our sleeve ongoing, mainly in two fire missions. So this one, which we've had been called in for a while and is just getting into the spotting phase. So this is using our 25-pounder howitzers, which should hopefully take out a large amount of the infantry elements along this hedge line, as well as, if we're lucky, the light armoured car and the Panzer II, but we'll have to see how that goes. Meanwhile, we've just ordered another artillery mission using our 10 platoon HQ, and that's going to be on the 81mm mortars with the idea of knocking out this AT gun. That has just been called in, so this one's going to take about 7 minutes or so before we actually get anywhere with that. Meanwhile, we have a backup plan for dealing with this Panzer, so we're bringing in a Piat team. So we are firmly in control of these buildings, and there's good line of sight from second story of any of these buildings onto that position. So we'll look to bring him into here if we need to supplement that howitzer strike. We also have an AT piece guarding this road, so if they should decide to pull out of this position due to the shelling, we should be able to hit them on the way out. Meanwhile, in terms of this Panzer IV, we do have another 6-pounder AT piece here, which is moving into a bit of a hopeful position. I don't really think it's going to come to anything, to be honest. Trying to line up something of a keyhole through to where we know the tank is. Personally, I think their vision is going to get blocked by this hedge line more than anything else, even though we can see it. I know that that doesn't always equate to line of sight, but it won't hurt to line that up. So we may have to come up with a plan B of how we're going to knock out that tank in particular. And that's it. So we're a bit, in terms of pushing forward any further with our infantry, we're a bit stymied until this artillery strike resolves itself, and then we can kind of push in and try and take a position in these houses. Ideally, we'd like to knock out this AT piece, and then we can support with our armoured elements as well. Only thing, real threat I should note, and it's a fairly minor one, but when I was surveying the units before I start this video, I noticed this Panzer II has started to turn his position slightly, and it may be that he spotted our scouts, our engineers, which we've kind of re-rolled into some scouts for us. So they might be about to have a bad day, but we'll have to see how that goes. But without further ado, we'll just hit the go button, and we'll run through our first minute, and we'll see what else we spot. So there's a little bit of kind of back and forward fire here, but nothing much. Again, we're going to wait until that might be good enough to call in the fire mission, until we get the fire mission going, and then we're going to take a position in strength along this hedge line. And that was interesting. Who is this Panzer firing at? Is it? Sorry, our section here could be. Yeah, okay, we might have to pull them back, or push in with our Piat early, not bother waiting for the howitzers. Might be the way to do it. We have spotted some Germans in this field, which I would like someone to open up on. Ah, it's just you, okay. So I believe this is elements of a infantry section, which we pushed off this hedge line. So there's a couple of Germans left here. Looks like they they've set up their machine gun? Yeah, it looks like that's mounted, tripod mounted machine gun. Interesting facing, but I will not argue too much about that. Let's come back out, and we shall run the rest of this minute. Yeah, we're going to have to do something here. I had been casually walking my P8 team over. I might have to get him to hurry up a scooch. Yeah, we're starting to take casualties. There's a fire for effect call. That's good to hear. It's unfortunate we took a casualty there. So, what I had actually done is these two infantrymen. So this was again, it was a scout, which is a single man who can survive from a previous engagement. But he did have a brain gun. So I thought, well, let's waste not, want not. Broke off a scout section with the idea of they can then kind of medicate that guy, acquire his gun, and then we'd have two Brens within that section. But unfortunately that has not gone to plan. We do have a fire effect, which is nice to hear, and with this chap I'm going to get him to hurry up a little bit, because I would rather, in fact, let's cancel counter orders. Let's get you going quick. Let's see if we can't get you in a position where you can have a go at that Panzer. Excellent. In terms of a plan C, if you count kind of potentially these guys as now plan A and Howard's is plan B, I'm bringing this car around here to potentially try and get a view on the house. I don't really want a straight up fight, but if we can catch them slightly unawares, then I will definitely take that. Good. It might be worthwhile actually. Again, if we can get a bit of supremacy here to put some platoons in the second story. I usually try and avoid putting people in the second story, as it usually leads to high casualty rates due to the amount of people that can also see you, but it might be worthwhile. Yeah, these guys are pinned. I might see if I can get them to... You guys come down the hedge a little bit. You're probably not going to be able to move. And I had been getting this guy to re-embark his vehicle. Again, it's going to be completely useless as a fighting vehicle, but it can move and can scout for us, and can be a target, to be perfectly honest. But I don't want you to get in that while the Panzer's got its eyes on you. So we'll hold off. It might just be this guy, so maybe if I tell him to go back to where his section was, he'll be okay. I do feel like I've got a lot of assets kind of just hanging about. Make sure you've got a deploy weapon command. You do not. Please do that. And meanwhile, and this is actually quite interesting and relatively exciting. Our scouts have got all the way over here without being shot at, which I was not expecting the slightest. I really thought there'd be some Germans in these buildings. And if that isn't the case, well, actually that gives us another opportunity to maybe bring some forces along the road here and into these buildings to try and flank that Panzer with a P8 team. Don't know off the top of my head how well a P8 will do against the Panzer IV. I mean, I know in terms of the anti-tank weaponry, the P8 does have a kind of largest warhead compared to a bazooka or a Panzerschreck, so it should be pretty good, and maybe we'll find out. Okay, I think we're gonna leave it at that for this minute. I'm starting to be conscious of time. I don't want to drag my heels too much, but we'll go for now. I'll maybe look at making some slightly more aggressive moves next time. Once the hopefully the howitzer barrage starts falling in earnest. We are using the rest of our howitzer ammunition, which is a fair amount actually, and I feel we've ended up in a pretty good area for it. Some sporadic fire, that's okay. So there's like, I'm just going to check where that landed actually, because I know the Germans were calling in some artillery. Yeah, back here. That's absolutely fine. You guys want to annihilate that field, be my guest. Okay. Oh, I didn't pay quite attention to where the gap in the hedge was, so a little bit of back and forth, but not too much. Right, I'm hoping our howitzer is going to start landing. There we go. Nice. Good opening salvo. I see good opening salvo. Hasn't taken anything out that I can see, but looked impressive. And that's half the battle, I think. Okay. Fairly quiet minute. Let's jump into command phase. I think I'm gonna wait another minute before it starts falling in earnest, before I give the orders to start taking more position along this hedge line. And again, we're going to have to be careful about making sure we don't position ourselves where the Panzer can see us. And I don't think there's any real chance for these guys are going to have line of sight. I mean, yeah, so it says they can see everything in this garden, but as soon as you go past that hedge, it says, no, we can't see it. And that's not always the case, because this points at the ground, and while you can't see the ground, you can sometimes see armoured vehicles behind it. So it's not necessarily a complete waste, and in fact, we can't see it now because we moved people out of the way, but we would essentially be looking right at where the Panzer was, assuming he's still there. So I perhaps leave them there and see what comes of it. It might be okay. Well, these guys continuing to move without incident, and again, I am truly shocked that this is the case. So we've obviously got 3 sections here. It might be a case of actually, let's grab a section, our AT team, and start to push them along the side of this road. And that might not be a bad outcome. In fact, let's do that. Grab our reserve kind of section here. We'll get you to come, out the back, down here, and start heading along this way. Probably want you to stick on this side of things, so you don't attract any fire from running that hedgerow. We'll get the P8 team to join you. Just head your way over there. It'll take you a wee bit long to get along this road, but it'll also give them an opportunity to spot, and maybe that'll work out. Okay, this is good. Yep, I think that's happy. I'm just going to run another minute. And hopefully we'll see some outcome of our howitzers here. Nothing else, it should also get the... hang on. Right, first finish that thought. It should help the Panzer II commander to probably button up. Or not. Okay. To avoid shrapnel. Now we did just get a glimpse of another infantry spot there. From these guys doing great work in this little spotting position actually. Oh, it's just a dude running. Okay. So some infantry team there. Potentially coming in to support this area. Although, why you'd reinforce at the moment, I don't know, but there you go. And these guys are probably only going to get one shot, but can be hopeful. Ooh, that's quite close. We are obviously putting them into the danger area. That's an interesting spot here. I wonder if they truly are pushing out. Oh, that was nice. It's not quite nice enough. Okay, well this is a pretty bad start. What on earth happened here? Oh, it looks like not only the second story, but the ground story has line of sight to that tanks. We may have been better off taking the next building over. I had thought with the hedge that would block line of sight from the first level. Our plan B may not go particularly well. He's obviously going to be pretty unhappy about that. But hopefully... Well, I mean, the tank should know he's there. He's got the spot now. Not going to be in a nice mood, but if he gets a round away, we'll be okay. That's unfortunate. After the ease we got these guys into this building, I thought it'd be the same there, but yeah, okay, my mistake there. Let's go command phase. So rounds are dropping. Not necessarily getting the immediate impact I was after. I'm still going to get these guys to push up into positions along the along this hedge as well. See if we can't do a little bit more strength and kind of a little more fire base. Yeah, These are the guys that are now fully limbered, but cannot see toffee. It's almost worth, in fact, I might do it, is to pull these guys down to get view, see if they can share that spotting information, and then we'll really get confirmation to whether these guys can see or not. And then I'm going to move these guys along this hedge line as well. Okay, well, I'll go do that all off camera, and then we can pop back in for the next minute. Okay, so I've issued orders just for essentially this section and the mortar and rent attachments, or to line up along this hedge, and hopefully that'll allow us a bit of a fire base to root out the remnants over here. Also made a decision, potentially pretty risky, but to take this armoured car here and to push him across and then bring him round to hopefully add some additional fire support over here, on the basis that obviously, well, we can't spot the Panzer from here, and the Panzer hasn't spotted any of our universal carriers. I think we're going to make it over here. It does look like there's the odd keyhole position where they might be able to see, so hopefully kind of speeding along rapidly, they're not going to have time to spot and shoot, and then we're going to use here to hide essentially behind the houses, and then can put some additional fire and maybe have a little bit of a brawl with this chap, but we shall see. And then meanwhile, I'm continue to push the Panzers right around. Oh, one other thing, I'm going to get this scout team, or person as the lone guy, to move into the ground floor of this building, just to make sure there's nobody hiding in the back here, so that it is actually safe to push our P8 team up. So we'll see what we get out there. And that's probably about it. Again, we're a bit static over here. Getting conscious, I'm not using a lot of my assets, but I don't want to expose them overly. I wonder if they're now pulling out from there. I should probably do more to try and get a spot on that, especially before the mortar rounds start falling. I've not wanted to push this guy across because I think it's going to be pretty bad for his health. It may come down to the fact we need to do it. Okay, my man, go for it. And go for it at a jog as well. It's about the only chance you've got. I'm uncomfortable with this. I really want to have a little bit more information on what's over there. And to that effect as well, actually, let's get you to come over here and just go up there again on a stealthy scout roll. Okay, so let's run the minute and see what happens. Ideally, we'll also see this guy get his round off. Oh, ha 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 ha! What a man! There you go. Who are you? Private Skeen. Your officer was taken down, and you still saw the job in hand and went to it. Good lad. Oh, there we go. Nice little view of the window. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Straight in the front, penetration. Good night, Panzer II. Excellent. And the howitzers continue to fall. Unfortunately, missing that guy. So they are moving up. Interestingly. Oh, okay. And this guy copped a return from some infantry in that building. Fair enough. But interestingly, they are reinforcing with this half track and these infantry, given that we're dropping a whole bunch of mortar rounds on them. But I am not going to complain at that. Oh no! Oh, I'm absolutely devastated. Private Skeen just made the ultimate sacrifice. Gave away his position in taking out the tank, and copped, looked like a whole bunch of MP40 rounds for his troubles. Skeen, you will be remembered. Howitzers continue to fall, lots of Germans running away, this is good to see. This car, oh, hang on. Ah, I've been looking at the infantry icon sitting above it. That's no infantry icon, or vehicle icon I should say. And there we go, knocked out. So our howitzers have done their job on this guy. Fantastic. 2 armoured vehicles gone. Just what we want. Oh, this is beautiful. So they have brought up their half-track, but it's just a machine gun, so if we can get our armoured car in a position to shoot on that, that'll be ideal. And the rest of these howitzers should be causing all sorts of trouble for these Germans. Oh, that looked nice. I'm very happy about this. Less so about the loss of our brave private, but do what we can. And looks like our armoured car has made it there safely. Good. Still no eyes on that Panzer, even though we moved these guys back into Panzer spots. Maybe I'll need to have to shift these guys up an action square. Okay. Meanwhile, lots of meanwhile. So you have come in here. There is no one here. I can't believe it. So that's fantastic for trying to get a P8 team up into a second story here. Oh, I wasn't even paying attention to these guys. I got so het up in our destruction of their position over there. You guys have made it across and are seeing just infantry. This is really interesting. So, is this a real spot? Is it a phantom spot? I don't know. What I could do, and it is a pretty horrific commander decision on my part, is I could pop my driver into what is my essentially useless Dalmor and get him to drive along this road and see what happens. Might need to do it. Yeah, that's not a nice call to make. Oh, we've got another half track gone, which we didn't even know about. So we'd seen one, we hadn't seen the second one. Excellent, and they've got one more coming up. But so what? Okay. Now I am conscious that they may decide they're getting a little too much heat and relocate their Panzer IV. Obviously, if he comes around the road, not a problem. If he comes up in the field and nuzzles up against a hedge, more of a problem. We don't really have a good spot on that. Not with him tucked behind this hedge here. So, right, let's not get too carried away. Let's go command phase. Let's get you guys to move up here, which should, between the two of you, we should definitely get the spot. I think I told you to move over as far as you can. And we'll see if that gives these guys a shot or not. Our level release confirms that he is still there. Our armoured car. Please keep hunting. Now, how far can I push it without exposing you to Mr. Panzer? And the answer is quite far, actually. So maybe if I bring you into here, I want to try and scoot you a little bit forward. Maybe get you to go through the fence. Not ideal, you could become bogged, but no. This is a bit of a guessing game as to where exactly the Panzer was. Further back, we reckon. Okay. Okay, I think we'll be okay there. He should be able to take out that other half track. Let's have a look at what's left in terms of a barrage. So we have another 1 minute, they reckon. Okay, so I'll wait before pushing people in here, just in case they get some shells landing out with the target. I don't want to hurt my own men, and then we will push some people into these buildings. We're going to have a bit of a fight, but yeah. I'm afraid I'm going to use this guy as a bit of a guinea pig. For the greater good. We are keeping with our countdown on Miss Colin, so what we're down to now, spotting. Okay, which is good. And if we confirm there's nothing there, we can always cancel that. Excellent. I'm feeling positive about our chances. You know, not discounting the fact they have a pretty hefty medium tank, and we do not. You're continuing to push up. We've got this platoon coming around in to support you guys, and also to provide a nice little kind of flanking position, to be honest, long term. You are presumably caught a bit of odd bullets from somewhere, a little damage done. We will get you to run this a little bit quickly, actually, just so you keep up with the Piet man. I think apart from that, we're good to go. Yep. Alright, let's just run forward the next minute, end our barrage, and then see where we can push forward from there. So hopefully with the armoured car coming to support, that'll turn the tide against that chap. Oh, there's some nice hits going on here. Fair amount of infantry left. So this guy hasn't got the spot yet. He should do from here, I think. Especially as he's actively firing his weapon. No? You're not claiming you can see? That's slightly frustrating if I've got to shuffle you around. Oh, so one of our mortar shots landing over there, a bit off target. Yeah, we're starting to take casualties as well. Come on, armoured car, do your job. I'll have to check his line of fire next time we get a chance. Okay. That was pretty good. I think we took a rifleman casualty there. And that was it. These guys are having a bad day. You can't see, which we'll have to see if we can sort out. And aside from that, these guys are in a bad shape. Which is exactly what we like to see. Okay, command phase it is. So you are in your car, not loving life. So I'm going to want you to pull back and come all the way down here. It's a bit of a tight turn actually. Tell you what, I'll go and I'll plot this moving off camera. I don't need to do it on. So what I'll do, I'll plot his move off camera. I'm going to check his line of sight, shuffle him around if need be. We have lost eyes on this Panzer, which is slightly disconcerting. So I'm going to get these guys to move up a floor, just so we can positively locate it. And that should be the end of this barrage, which we can just double check. Less than 1 minute, yeah. So I'll start to issue some mortars. I might give them a 30-second pause command and then get them to come into these buildings. To hopefully kind of apply pressure on whoever's left. Okay, I'll do all that and then we'll jump back for some more time. So, as best I can see, this guy has got pretty good line of sight to the half track. Just, you can't quite see it, it's underneath that letter A. I mean, if you zoom in and take a straight line, so if you default his keys to X, we zoom in, look, he's got a good line of sight to that half track. But I do know hedges and things can get in the way and confuse them, so I've given them a hunt order just to scooch forward a little bit and hopefully give him visibility. Hopefully not exposing him to the Panzer hiding through the trees. I also used the opportunity to bring forward this recon car again, just to help suppress some of these infantry positions, and everything else was as discussed. So I think we're ready. Just push forward. So what we expect to happen this minute? Well, our kamikaze car may come to an unfortunate end. Our scout moving up should hopefully give us a positive ID on the Panzer IV. And that's about it. I did give the infantry we're moving forward a 45-second delay, just to make sure we're not going to take any casualties there too. Since this might be the most interesting thing that happens. Let's come over from perspective of Mr. Armoured Car. And let's actually, we'll click on him so we now see everything he sees. And we'll see if he can make the spot. It is actively firing. Apparently he's having a hard time understanding what's there. I believe that's German artillery falling in the field behind us. Ah, mate, you are killing me right now with your inability to spot. Right, we're going to throw on a pause here. We'll lose his icon. Let's just double check those large explosions were exactly what we thought they were. Ooh, that's a bit closer than I thought it was. Okay, we might need to move some of our rearmost units then. Meanwhile, where is? We'll have to check in on our not quite kamikaze truck. I can't believe that guy can't make the spot. Hurts, so I'll have to move him out and move him around to better position, but it's just to cost time, you know. Let's not actually. Hold up. Hold up. So if we click on half track, shows you all my units that can see it. The Bren guys beside the armored car saying, yeah, he's half track over there. He's like, what? What are we talking about? That's frustrating. Okay. How far? Okay, you got down to there. Okay. Okay, so you have popped up to the second story, yes? Ah. You're not really looking the right way though. Tell you what. I'll take this opportunity because I need to move you down. So the best thing I've found to do is if they're facing the wrong way is to tell them to go, since you're downstairs, come upstairs and then give a facing order. In fact, I can show you when we jump into command phase. So if I wanted just to correct this, and this might not be the most efficient, but the way I found to do it is since you go, right, go downstairs and then come back upstairs and then you click on the little final circle dot and give them a facing order. And that way, when they come back up, they'll face in the right direction. But since we're having to make you move anyway, why don't I get you to come down here, quickly come along there, and then move into the third story, which should give you even better line of sight. And then we'll, just to make sure, have you face over there. Good. We have a Piat team essentially standing by, and some supporting infantry a little bit off, but they're making their way there. And our little scout here is seeing a whole lot of nothing over here. Really surprising, actually. But not going to complain. So as expected, these guys really just started moving late in that last action phase. So they're going to push along there. I mean, this should really let us know what we're up against over here. Because if it is an AT gun, then hopefully the mortar rounds can deal with it. Failing that, even when the mortar rounds are falling, I think we're going to take the opportunity to sweep in with our armoured vehicles. And that way we can, even if the mortar round doesn't knock it out, we can knock it out with the kind of small arms fire. Well, not quite small arms fire, but machine gun fire and, yeah, 37mm. It's really not small arms at all. Okay. Is there anything else I want to do? No, I'm going to leave him there for another minute because, I mean, this guy can see that half track. So let's give him a benefit of doubt and say they're going to find out about it and take the shot. I will have you guys just maybe scooch forward a little bit. Come in maybe over here. That's fine. I believe this is an unoccupied jeep. No, there's a driver in here. Tell you what, driver, why don't you see if you can get your way out this field? Just in case some heavy rounds come in. Good. As much as it may seem I throw my men's lives away, I do try to avoid unnecessary injuries. So you have finished your job. I'm not sure I've got another one for you in a minute, so I might just hold you there. Okay, let's push forward with another minute, and before we start really reorientating things. I mean, I think we're going to have to try and push in and, like say, enforce. Oh, hello. So my scouts are on the move, so they didn't get the spot. Oh, they did get the spot. Despite the fact they're now leaving the building. Okay, that's fine. They saw it on the way out. Yeah, if we could get a Piat team up in here, side armour. I like our chances. Okay, let's come back out. Let's run. So I actually got fire for effect over here, so... Well, I just hope it's in the right place. Oh, you've now been hit. Can you see him? Nah. I'm cutting a frustrated figure. Oof, close one. This armoured car. I mean, we can shuffle them round, it's fine, we'll get eventually, but, you know, definitely opportunity of taking infantry casualties in the meanwhile. That's our mortars coming round. So I think, like it or not, we're going to have to push in with... We've got a kind of a dummy armoured car can go first, and then we've got two real ones, if you were, can support behind. Alright. Okay, let's go command phase. So, yeah, plans going forward. I'll reorientate this armoured car around to here, where he shouldn't have any excuses. Although, let's be honest, he shouldn't have any excuses where he is. I might be able to... Maybe I can give him a fake order to just target the hedgerow in front of it. That might not be a bad shout, even if it's just for a minute to see what you can get done. You know, I can give him to say target that. We might try that. It's worth moving over. Is that just where the action square is? Yeah, okay, that's all I'm going to get. We'll try it. I mean, I don't think large explosions near a half track is going to do much damage, but it might. Okay, but we are sitting at the 35-minute mark. So next time we will do our grand sweep in with our armoured cars. We will put our Pia up into here, see if we can't take it with Panzer IV. And finally, we should then have the overwhelming firepower just to collapse in on these Germans. Yeah, using our kind of... We should have definitely the kind of armoured vehicle upper hand at that point. And it'll just be a mop-up exercise. All going well, of course. But I do hope you have enjoyed this episode, and I'll catch you all in the next one.